sent you where Pirate Software just said, okay, that guild is on the death list for life. They are killing site.
Yeah.
And then they some of the dudes in the guild got a bunch of bots to try and mass report them for doing that, and they ended up getting scolded for, I think
by
some
the maker
even got
of the
banned.
game. Right, exactly.
I think a couple players got banned for doing that, and then Steven Sharif's response was, yeah, there's some he called it auto modding.
Auto-modding, right.
Yeah, there's some auto modding going on. Well, we're going to take care of it, but, go ahead and continue with your your politically induced player engagement.
They don't understand, like, Steven Sharif is like a fucking Arc-Age fucking naval commander. Like, that's like saying, yeah, I'm a fleet ops commander for, like, old school Eve. The level of, like, I don't think you understand the type of personality you're dealing with here. Like, you guys are so deep down in, like, the FAFO of this type of game, it's not even funny. Because when you have these mega, like, juggernaut guilds, like, dude, you have no recourse. Like, if you can't be polite and figure things out, like, they can wipe you out to the point where people will have to, like, tag down from your guild and quit to be able to do anything.
Yep.
And that's just how it is. It's like, there were a situation and scenarios where, for example, in previous games, it would be Guild Wars 2 or Warhammer Online or ESO to a certain point, it's like you get these people who would just run their mouths in the chats and in the, once again, social media, forums, whatever, and then the big war would come. And of course you would remember who did what, because the people who are quiet, calculated professionals building their armies, building their meta teams, you can get to a situation where your guild is so outmatched and you're so unaware because you haven't bothered to do anything beyond bravado. And when those battles come, you're just getting outclassed, dominated, 2v1'd by both of the other factions. You have no options. So whenever you are in the field and can be killed, you're prioritized and spawn camped. And that's it. And there are certainly, once again, unwinnable scenarios where you're just like, well, that's it. The map is run. All the positions are taken. You're in your spawn point, and you have no capacity to fight back. You have no military option that solves the imbalance of forces, and that's it. Gee, and we would destroy guilds so badly that, like, that was it. They never recovered, and they died. Their members scattered to the wind, never to be seen or heard from again. And I think a lot of people now who grow up on much more lax games like WoW don't understand that, like, dude, WoW's not going to come in to help you. You can't turn war mode off in the PvP areas in these games. That doesn't even exist. And that's a shock to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, the repercussions for my actions.
Oh, I'm in hard now. Well, we're going to have to do something about that.
How do we pull up our talents again?
C. Or I.
Yeah, skill tree.
Well, you just go across the top. You got abilities.
Yeah, A.
Skill tree and then Paragon once you hit 50.
It's A.
Dude, this is so weird. All of my shit came back, like, much more powerful. It's crazy.
What shit?
So I came back in, and, like, all my stuff that would apparently been blown up on my cut list, now that we've remade the character for the patch, it's all back. I've got everything. Make your character. By the way, the Polaris is in now, so
Yeah.
we are going to be able to start running on that. Just so you know.
I'm thankful the barrier keeps us safe. I am, but
If we can get enough people in.
He's not on right now. I'll let you try to talk to him.
Right. He was on earlier. For a long time.
Yeah, we said we had a run, so that is what we had to. I have like
destroyed over here.
Okay, I think I'm good on this. If you can get in contact, that'd be fine. I'm gonna run some Diablo with the crew here. But how are you doing on the Vaughn missions? I really do want to help with that stuff. They are gonna wipe us, by the way. Do you know when that wipe is happening? Because I don't want to get too attached to stuff before the big wipe. I just want to learn how to get it squared away.
You know, it could be a month, probably.
I have no issue with that. It's like a seasonal thing. It doesn't matter. We were playing so many seasonal games that doesn't bother me. I just want to make sure that we know what the meta is to make cash Monet.
Yeah. I think once this wipe happens, it's going to be a long time till the next one.
Yeah, so the next one coming up is the one we really care about.
Yeah. And it's not that there's nothing that matters now, because all the safe Stanton stuff, that the lasers you get as a reward, those don't get wiped. So
we want to do save Stanton stuff, is what you're saying.
we want to finish it for everybody, at least. Everybody that wants those limited edition lasers.
Yeah, so all those events that are there forever, or the ones we really want to focus on. I think that's kind of nice for people, you know?
Yeah, they're not there forever. They go away when 4.0 drops.
Okay. Oh, they're done when 4 p.m. So when we think it launches all those items, I thought referral code stuff and all the rest of it stuck around.
Oh, all your account bound stuff sticks around. As I was saying, the reward for the lasers and stuff. But anything you bought with the UEC.
Right. In any event, talking shop about the future is what we want to do. We want to get prepped in. I want to write about more of that tonight because it's just there's so many things. There's so much pressure right now in the gaming market to, I think, just kind of survive at this point because the competition is very fierce. A lot of fly-by-nights kind of got into the space recently, and they didn't really know anything about the market and what their demographics, and I think a lot of big studios got kind of scammed. I feel like
I think a lot of big studios got filled with every industry starts producing people to work in it.
Yes.
At colleges, just start
chumping them out.
And they're just garbage, and it's not the same as developers.
People who are it's always that way. It's fundamentally at the core of it, it's a guy who came in back in the day. Think about the generation that built Blizzard. These guys were hardcore math, science,
or even
and
Chris
code.
Roberts.
They started
his first
in
game in the back of a magazine just because he wanted to.
Right, these people were extremely strong with programming when it was very early language. You had to be fundamentally a really strong STEM, math, coding, reason, logic person. So you look at the people who made most of they're fucking turbo nerds. They're usually math major types, engineering work type, or they're once again the Bioware people. They were doctors. Medical doctors, substantial people. And this is very different than no offense to Full Sail people, but somebody who came in and essentially their job is glorified playing around with doing data entry on an engine someone else made. There's a huge difference between somebody being taught how to use tools from a YouTube video, an Unreal 5.5, which by the way is extremely user friendly and anyone can pick that up. It's learning CAD as opposed to knowing how to make the CAD engine from scratch. Those are different levels of skill sets, and I hate to say it, magnitude of intellect differences in terms of the problem and the scale involved. And so a lot of the people coming in, and also you listen to these WoW kids who are working on it, bro, they were 5 or 6 years old when WoW came out, and that's just this generation. It's going to get worse. They don't really know what the space is. They wouldn't have the capacity to build this stuff. Certainly not from scratch, and they don't understand what it is. They don't have the background and original computational fun, which is tabletop, RPG, miniatures, Baldur's Gate, rule sets, like an intimate understanding of like, oh, I've used these different math sets, where we're fucking calculating it with a pen and paper on on the desk here with some dice, right? And you're like, this is good, this is working, this is not. And you can see, like, with the current math in like any of these games we're playing pro, you guys clearly don't have a lot of background in like what the rules were, and it's all over the place. The balancing is like about as bad as I've ever seen it. All right, I'm going to go over and we're going to do some Diablo. My character's good to go. Ship set's good to go. Look at my character, man. Totally crusadered out. All right, good to go. Go to menu. I'm good. Character's made. I'm set. Sidearm. Power armor. Backpack.
I'll get some crates made up to outfit the Corsair with provision.
Do you want me to give you the Crusader to play with us tonight?
No, that's alright, because I don't think... I probably won't
be on
save
later.
state without you on.
I'm logging over to Diablo now. It's been updating. So yeah, I'll be logging with your group, and Najaka's like pretty gotted out as usual. But I want to make sure we're playing these games. You want to come in, Jinx?
Dude, he's insane. And
Yeah.
Jaka's like a super demon.
Yeah, dude, like, meet Ninjaka. Do this for a while. Anyway, yeah, like, we just want to get the crew going. I played Diablo's like an old school.
Yeah,
Generationally.
it's fun.
Yeah, it is good. It's from a different time period. Like,
It's a different kind of game.
it's old school. It's an old school format, but I dig it. Then even planning, we'll do the updates. I'll just stay up late to get the Patreon shit with the 20th, 30th anniversary stuff squared away. But really, this is the beginning of a lot of a new sort of age. This is the final trilogy for WoW, as far as I'm concerned. WoW as an IP is not going to go anywhere, but this is going to be kind of like, it's like Star Wars getting to the point where George Lucas sells it. You know what I'm saying?
Twilight years.
Right. This is like, it doesn't mean that they can't potentially get...
Unless somebody comes in with like true like war in their heart, you know,
Yeah.
and takes over. That's the only thing that could fix it. Somebody who
That'd be
really
awesome.
fucking cares about fighting.
Yeah, I think unfortunately it's... I don't want to get into like the gender warfare stuff, but let's just simply point out the difference between Blizzard run by, you know...
Yeah, and how
These-
many
these stand-
like,
these stand-in
oh my God,
people-
Just watch the videos about it, and it's like they're all
Yeah, it's
in-
like, look, Holly Longdale's a fine person, but she's not really the right person to do something like Warhammer, a grimdark, hyper-masculinized,
Yeah, or the
traditional...
Jessica Martinez lady or whatever.
or it's like
Yeah, yeah,
like
these
The
are just...
Witcher.
Right, I'm sorry, like, it's not that I'm against some of these things, it's just, guys, I don't think it's appropriate, and we have to be able to fight for the spaces. In the same way, I'd be like, I don't know if this guy that you've hired here, whose background is like, you know, hyper-masculinized, performative World Wrestling Federation stuff, is the person to make your Barbie game.
Right.
Like, I don't think that this is the right person for the job. I understand that some weird stuff happened with you at a corporate level, and some social engineering occurred, and now this person is there for that. But I don't think this is your guy. And so I think you probably should find a woman who grew up and loves this IP and knows a lot about, you know, Mattel and Barbie history, and is really has good instincts there, and has proven herself to be a capable steward for this space. So my take is, like, I don't think Joanna Ferries has the right background for this, and I don't think Holly Longdale is the correct person for it either. So you need somebody from the Chris Metzen generation who really knows a lot about Warhammer, really knows a lot about RTS, really knows a lot about this particular
And
genre.
also, they just will never. I've never met a woman ever that like likes violent, and like
of that nature, right? These are like on the scale of violent IPs. Like, I hate to say it, like Warhammer is about as hardcore as you can get. It's not just like violent.
Warcraft used to be
it's
too, like-
hyper violent. It's grim dark. It's gruesome and horror on a level that the average normie can't even comprehend. Turning that into a cozy core game that's not what it is. Like, it could have been something else. There's plenty of other combat games that exist. It's not Halo. Halo is nice and cozy in comparison. Like, even Doom isn't quite as screwed up as what Warhammer is. Like, and to be frank, that's the basis for Warcraft. Like, the warp demons and the fell shit, like, the warlocks, like, you don't understand what they're talking about here. Like, this is coming from a pretty gruesome place. Like,
Very
old school
dark
Warcraft
magic.
is like, yeah,
Just
so...
watch Warcraft, the original cinematic. Just watch that. It's just so violent right off the bat. And
Right.
It just got, I don't know where we went.
Yeah, it's like, guys, these are undead death warlocks using like interdimensional space death magic from
Right.
a fallen god that is
Torrens smoking
that
a bear with a tree. And
Right,
fucking-
exactly. It's like a warlock is like beyond your comprehension levels of powerful and evil. Like, you don't. It's just so. Guys, this is not like your cozy core little, I would say, Second Life adjacent experience. Like, the Fel is a real problem. Like, it comes from a place that you have gods fighting, right? And in their conflict, one of them essentially goes mad, right? Sargeras is a fallen titan who is like, look, to stop the void, the only way we're going to win is to essentially take away any life that they could corrupt, because it's a corrupting force, right? And it can't even be constructs, because it's such a corrupting force. It can corrupt stone, elementals, any type of life that we've discovered. The only thing we're finding that is resistant to it are these nether demons from another dimension entirely, right? And so Sargeras is like, look, in order to save the universe from being corrupted to this stuff, I'm going to create this Fel demon space army to be a bulwark against it, to stop it at any cost. Because in their view, if the void is not stopped, then all of creation falls to it, and that this is sort of the only solution that occurs to be effective. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so he's actually a good guy.
Well, he's not a good guy. He is trying to win a war against an enemy that no amount of conventional
Threatens him.
forces. Right. It threatens the entire sort of order of the universe, is the argument. And so what they're doing is trying to convert everything over to Fel. Right. Basically, they're inculcating any type of entity they can to be part of the Burning Legion, and they are giving them Fel magic and Fel blood, because it's the antithesis of the ability of
The void.
to corrupt it.
It's the
And
only
so,
thing that stands a chance.
right. So these are gods fighting, right? But in order to achieve their goals, they're quite happy to do Warhammer sort of exterminata stuff. This is very common in the Warhammer units. It's like, all right, we have some major race that we're fighting, be it the Tyranids or any of the various demon pantheon gods. Corruption's a real problem, and the Imperium is very happy to engage in system-wide extermination campaigns to make it impossible for populations to be absorbed for their biomass by Tyranids or corrupted by any of these void gods or anything else. So the point being, that's what you're talking about. These are groups that are casually engaged in sort of realpolitik that's extremely controversial behaviors. Like, for example, it must be understood that, like, in the Warhammer universe, the Imperium of Man is not the good guys. They are like hyper turbo authoritarian on a level that calling them
Yeah,
like,
there's
oh,
no
they're
good
space
guys.
Nazis, like, is a disservice to how bad the Imperium actually is. Like,
Right.
they're
There's zero good guys in Warhammer.
right, exactly. So in that situation, they're just powers pursuing their interests, and they casually engage in genocide on a scale that's incomprehensible to these other universes. Like, A Day That Ends in Y with some of these Space Marine chapters, like, yeah, so we have an empire of a million worlds. Sometimes we have to cull multiple systems that are in the way of an invasion. There may be hundreds of billions of people living in those systems, right?
Well, like, lore-wise, there was some controversy to whoever did it, to stop the Tyranids, he called a few worlds Terminatus that were like living. But once the Tyranids are on a planet, then they'll do Terminatus.
Right, and so that the logic of these factions and what they're doing are on such a grand scale that it's difficult to comprehend. So if you're on the receiving end of what they're doing, it's of course the end of the world. It's terrible, but there is a logic to it. It's like, you don't understand. I know that it's rough that they're doing this and it's a bad outcome, but it is better to be glassed, quickly killed by an exterminatus campaign by the Imperium than to be eaten alive by the Tyranids and turned into biomass and cause more problems down the line for it becoming an exponentially greater problem, if that makes sense. So Jinx just messaged me, look, Sargeras is not understood because it's difficult to understand what the motives of what the scale of what the Titans are seeing. They're managing thousands of star systems. They're fighting a war against the Void. They're trying to deal with, they're not playing favorites with you. Does that make sense? Like Azeroth to them is only interesting because they know it's the prime Titan, but all of these star systems, thousands of them, have been conquered or back, and it's not just by the Legion. You have to understand from their perspective, like, guys, the Void is a horror. Like when it comes into a star system, it is changing the fundamental rules of the universe. Your planet, under Void influence taken to its extreme, is erased from the material plane. Like, it doesn't have mass anymore. Look at the ethereals. That's what the Void Lords do to you. Like, you exist as a form of energy, of void energy, but your planet is never really the same, and there's no corporeal beings left. Does that make sense? They're just turned into void energy, right? So, like, it's not... It's fundamentally incompatible with physical reality, right? It's like you go into a black hole and you're changed into something completely different from another plane of existence. And so from the sort of physical ordering of the universe Titans, of course they have to fight that, right? And they're actively fighting it. And they know when they fail what the consequences are. And we've seen completely void corrupted planets and what those become. And it isn't just the old gods as your void god aligned. We're talking about like the void lords themselves and what they do. You deal with them occasionally, like warlocks are aware of it. You have all of those various void entities that we sometimes call, like the void walkers and the rest of it. They're like completely sci-fi. They're the blueberries. They're just void energy. Where are we going next?
All right, everyone, come back into town here. Melkor, you can do the questing on your own. You don't need us for that. Let's power level you up, and then you can just get that stuff done on your own. Everyone come into town here, and we can up the level.
I had words.
Already go for that. Yeah, so the TLDR is just really interesting stuff because you're talking about, war between titans, war between gods, war between different pantheons, and you have to have an understanding of what their logic is. Otherwise, they'll just seem monstrous to you and beyond any type of comprehension. You won't, like, they will be unknowable. But there is some logic. Like, you have to look at the Burning Crusade and what's going on with that, and how long the Burning Crusade.
Come on over to me by the fountain here.
Coming. Good looking game. But in any event, really interesting. And back to what we were simply saying, that is really cool. Like, this situation is very interesting, and it's something that I don't believe current World of Warcraft really is reflecting that as well as it should be. I don't believe current World of Warcraft off brand from that conflict. The war in heaven, the Titans, the Void Lords, the guy. I know that they're moving towards it, but the type of scale and immediacy of the conflict, it's really not well demonstrated. It's very off from good storytelling, which is to say, show, don't tell. There's a lot of telling going on from Chris, but not a lot of in-game sense it. Whereas, think about Legion. Legion, like, you're dealing with daily Legion invasions, right? Areas are captured, under occupation. You're fighting it out in a meaningful way, if that makes sense. And I just don't feel like I'm feeling the same degree of that immediacy, because, like, it's really lazy. Think about the fact that, like, dude, Void invasion mechanics already exist in the game in a fully fleshed out way. Remember? Like BFA? Like going into the war with N'Zoth. We've had all that stuff there. So it's strange to me that they haven't engaged in that in a more serious way. Like things started well, they blew up Dalra, and there's a sense of immediacy of the threat and so on. But like this lull period, it's like I guess they did it as a calm before the storm, so you could have your 20th anniversary stuff or whatever it was. But it's not like the feeling of logging into Legion or BFA where it's like, yeah, there's a conflict, we're in a war. I just don't feel like we're involved with that war, and I feel like what should be occurring in the IP is that the war against the Legion was bad. I think that the war against the Void should be magnitudinally worse, right? And it should be a much greater existential threat as far as we're going up to the northeast. Coming in.
Just you can teleport to the dungeon, or you can just go through my portal.
Where are you? Oh, still get a heal.
This is going to be under leveled for you, Arc.
Doesn't matter.
Try and get Morgoth up to 60 here.
Yeah, no worries. That's exactly what we want to do. We want a team. I'm teleporting to you. Travel unavailable. Why can't I join you? What's wrong? Why can't I get to? It won't let me teleport to you.
Probably have to enter the dungeon.
Which one is it? I think
It's the one on the east side or the west side.
Side of the town.
Shifta's Ruin. North of Geocol. South of Ked Bardu, about halfway between the two.
Shifta ruins.
Shifta Ruins, yeah.
Copy. Dude, that Lich King armor looks... I'm glad we... That's so good.
We gotta get in here too, Morgoth.
Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is I just want there to be more action. I want there to be more like conflict, large scale, sense of immediacy and action. I like Void invasions. I like Nazjatar. I like there being sort of a large, sort of grim, dark understanding of the fact that there's these conflicts, and that it's okay for there to be villains, right? Bad guys. I think that like trying to turn all the orcs into these in need of a therapist, feelings, caricatures.
Yeah, emo orcs do not make that much sense to me.
Emorcs don't make sense at all.
Emo orcs, yeah.
Emorcs don't make sense because they misunderstand what orcs are. Like in all of the pantheons, be it Lord of the Rings or within the space of Warhammer, which I think is even more interesting. These are very violent races that in most cases were either corrupted or essentially bred specifically for combat. Like that's their role. It's instinctual at like a basic DNA level for them. Now, in the Warhammer universe for 40k, like they were specifically designed to fight, gods for the old ones, right? They were out there, going up against the Necrons, right? And they were actually even worse when they were created, if that makes sense. They were much more powerful. They were physically larger, all the rest of it. But they are biological weapons. That's all they are.
They fixed the turrets at the bunkers. I almost got shot down trying to do a Vaughn mission.
So you're going to need a higher range ship that can blow them up from range?
Well, we're going to have to attack it differently. I'm not sure how, we want to do it, but...
I watched some older missions with the Constellations, and they have a lot of front shields on them, so you basically just come in as a dueling fight with the cannons, right? They do a lot of damage, but they don't have a lot of health, so if you can just survive going into your range effective fire and just hammer down, you'll kill them.
Yeah.
So you want is a more beefy, tanky ship that can, has big guns on it, which is why, constellations are perfect for that sort of thing. Big guns, pretty beefy shields, usually can kill the turret before it gets through your front shields. Not a big deal. So anyway, that's just my take on it. I just want them to get back to it, and I think that they need to make sure that they're hiring the right people for the job. And I think that they need to have people that are like not fundamentally opposed to what the universe is. Does that make sense? I get the point of them sort of gradually trying to soften it, and they, I think, have empathized too much with the characters to the point where they're not allowing them to express their more fundamental, primal, savage natures, right? And as a result, they're not being represented in a way that is particularly on brand. And to be frank, it's kind of disinteresting. They've turned it into telenovela nonsense as opposed to a very violent, direct conflict, with where the battles and the relationships between them are essentially what is interesting. Like, I'm really not interested in watching, a Lord of the Rings remake where we're trying to have orcs in the sort of vein as pitiable refugees that you need to empathize with.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they're
savage beasts.
That were
Well,
created.
in that lore, they're literally just born from the earth constructs.
Right.
Right. They're corrupted, and they're used for combat. They're spawned. They're not even. They're not.
It's literally
human.
Melkor trying to create life because he's jealous about the light of Ilúvatar. So
Right.
every time like Melkor tries to replicate life, it just ends up being corrupted and fucked up and dark.
Yeah, they're inherently.
Melkor can't create life. The original orcs are actually elves that have been corrupted so bad.
Yeah, because he can't replicate the secret flame that only Ilúvatar possesses.
Yeah, that was the first gen orcs. Like the second gen were like super evil. He made from like.
Right, these are really evil things that have to be confronted. They're meant to be something that you can't. In fact, people engaging that behavior, where they're trying to humanize them, like misunderstand what they are, and there are stories about like caustic empathy that need to be discussed. So, for example, in like Fallout, there is a telling mission in Fallout New Vegas, right, which is very very popularized, where you have a group of people who live in this ivory tower, if you will. It's a fortified Las Vegas casino, who don't have any experience with the ghouls, right? But the ghouls were once human, but they're corrupted and radiation monsters, right? But they are ghouls. They eat people, right? They're like literally radiation zombies, right? But they're also cunning. They're capable of lying or doing whatever they can to achieve whatever is in their interest. So they argue to the people living in the tower that they're misunderstood, right? And you should definitely open the door and let us in, right? And you, as the player there, have to have some discernment and be like, look, these ghouls are violent. They're going to kill you if we let them in. It doesn't matter if the people inside think it's a good idea because they've actually fallen for the arguments being made by these literal radiation ghouls that are twisted and cannibalistic, right? They just want to get in to eat you. Like that's, and sometimes they're even open about the fact that that's what they want to do. But the people inside are so disconnected, they don't understand that. So if you choose to be like, all right, I'm gonna kill all the ghouls because they're just gonna eat you, and you guys are just naive children with no experience who have bought into a pack of lies. Now you will save the people inside by doing that, but they will dislike you for it. Like you're such a terrible person because you wiped out these ghouls that were going to eat us, right? Done? We're good? Go back down?
Yep.
But if you buy into the bullshit
I got to relog.
and you placate the people inside the tower, right, and let the ghouls in, you'll go back later on and all of the people will have been killed and eaten, right? Well, like, yeah, we lied. We just wanted we wanted to take their resources and eat them because that's what we are. It's like the Reavers over in like Firefly. Like they're so corrupted that they've gone crazy, right? They're going to just eat you. So like that's this type of like pathological empathy for these, objectively evil beings is interesting to me, because we see a lot of that trope happening over and over and over and over again. It's like they don't like the idea of there being bad guys. They're just misunderstood. And that's the thing. It's like, well, no. Sometimes there's malice, guys. Moving over.
But see, that's the power of like their magic in that world, because they convince you that they're good.
And they're quite capable of engaging in deception, right? And you're dealing with it in a space where you have individuals that are naive and can't believe that they can be deceived, right? But that is one thing about the Rings of Power that is at least reasonably true. Yeah, these powers are capable of corruption and deception. They're going to lie to you. How do I port to your location?
Sauron was like the master.
I'm in
deceiver.
Saragar.
I gotta sell my gear.
The point is, when you're dealing with childish intellects, it seems like they're not really wanting to deal with that type of nuance or complexity. Does that make sense? They don't like, this person's evil and just lying to you. This person is engaged in deception. They are cunning, right? They have intellect.
On into the pit.
I am inside. I see you there. I'll be right back. Bye, break. Jinx, don't get me started. Like, they fundamentally don't like understand like Zen philosophy or what these people represent.
Is always hot.
Can you invite me to the group?
Sure. We're doing a pit, so I don't know if you'll be able to get in there. Be done in about 3 minutes.
All right. Back. Yeah, we can render any of this stuff. Anything you like. We can absolutely... I love the Necromancer class. Are you back in, or what's going on?
Just waiting for you.
Is Melkor coming back in? Or is just the two of us?
Well, we're doing a pit right now, so I don't think he can get in. He is back though.
Already leveled me once.
Come on to the next level.
Coming.
Salutations, Wanda. Come and don the mantle of history's champions.
And final boss.
Man, you're just like obliterating stuff. Again?
It's only an 80. My highest right now is 123.
I got one shot for being in your presence. Nuts. Yeah, so once we can get these going, that's gonna be huge. Wow. Oh, thanks, man. I got a unique helm. I think I'm done, yeah?
Okay.
Huge.
Can you join us, Melkor, or not? See if I can open this up.
Way down here. I'm coming in.
Yep, just be careful, Melkor. Everything here will one-shot you.
Yeah, we just chill out in the back. I should chill out in the rear of the gear.
Careful, or everything in here can kill you.
Did Melkor mute himself, or what's going on?
I'm here.
There you go.
I thought I was muted, yeah.
I just feel like fundamentally what has happened is, if we're honest about it, if we're really to distill it down, it is the illness that is California subculture, which when I first came out here was explained in its most distilled form as this. It's not what you know, it's who you know. But that's not a good thing. We're describing verbatim is corruption. That's the literal definition of nepotism, yes? So if you're in a culture where it is once again connections and who you know, and not what you know about the technical aspect of what you're getting engaged in, or any of the background or relevant context for the project that you're working on, then you can expect precisely the type of outcomes that have been so disastrous recently, because that is what you're going to get when you have fundamentally well-connected but deeply ignorant individuals working on literally everything we touch. And so everything we're complaining about is basically fruit of the same poison tree, right? And ultimately, that has to be rigorously addressed. And I think at this point, it's like, how did this person get this job? And let's take a look at their background, and are they the right person for the job? And if it's obvious that they have what is the basis for them having a role with this multi-million-dollar project? What do they know about this thing? Because, by the way, in most of these cases, obviously, they didn't make the IPs. They're not even familiar with it. They're being brought in because of some other considerations, which are very bureaucratic, which is very process-oriented, as opposed to being outcome-focused, right? So in a competitive environment, you're interested in outcome, not process, right? So the idea being, look, it's not necessarily about doing all of these scheduled events leading up to this space. It's the outcome of the encounter that matters. Like, if you're trying to win the boxing match, we'll stay here because it will one-shot us for looking at it cross-eyed.
Okay, come on in.
That is a silly amount of loot. Elcor, you getting stuff?
Oh yeah. Bosses are so powerful in this game.
Get out of the pool!
I'm done.
Alright, I'm gonna make it interesting. Go up to 100.
Oof, this stuff is crazy good.
It's all 750 for me.
Do I want the Godslayer crown?
Yes, that's a pretty good one. Oh, not for Spirit Board, but for other classes, it's Abyss.
Okay, I'll put that in the bag. I'll make sure you accept it.
Okay, I'm not going to start until you guys are
next to you now?
both in here.
Yeah, I just feel like we're trying to get a sense of what's going on. They're trying to do the new Jon Favreau stuff with Skeleton Crew and the movie and so on. I hope that they're able to take some time in post-production to figure out what they want to put in for their final cuts versus not, and get a sense for like whether or not they really want to be engaging in the same exact behaviors that have caused so much problems for them recently.
So we're 20 levels higher than we were, guys. And it's spiders who like to swarm and poison.
Well, they certainly did kill me. All right, I'm back up, and we're gonna stay back. It's weird to me. I feel like if I were to look back at where things were being produced between 2016, 17, and early 2018, things were in really good shape. I feel like Marvel was in a good position. Disney was in a better position. Warcraft was Legion going into BFA. So, like, what the fuck happened, right? You have these spaces that were just like printing money, you know? Think of the stuff being, put out at that time. Like, I need to get on, like, our page and be like, hey, so how did we get from this to that? These huge blockbusters are tremendously successful to whatever this garbage has become. I do like a darker game from Blizzard. I do prefer this. I think as an older audience, like, this is a horror game, right? It's substantial. Yeah, you like those renders there? Yeah, that stuff's pretty crazy. And that's very dark, and it's good, right? We just pop the stuff out. I did another one for you too. Yeah, but we absolutely should be working on this stuff. So it will make whatever we ask it to do. We can animate her in the background. That puts some mist in the bottom. We're not asking you to do specifics. I'm just using usual standard code. But I'm putting in some PvP stuff for you. For your PvP runs, just look at the style of that. That's actually pretty badass.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, guys, let's see here.
We're moving down?
Oh.
Okay, we're with you. Do we just chill?
Yeah, once you're both in here, just...
I do like the graphics in Diablo a lot.
It's the way World of Warcraft could have gone.
I mean, World of Warcraft used to be influenced by this.
Yeah.
Fine. And tapped by a single arrow.
How'd you come down here?
I just one ad spawned back by me. I tried to run it up, but nothing I could do. Gotten 7 levels doing this. Pretty wild. Ancestral Helm, holy cow! Okay.
Yep, that'll be an 800.
I gotta get these things up to 45. So thank you. Should we just follow your portal out?
You can just head back to town. You guys are upgrading your glyphs, right, Ark?
I am.
Yeah.
Be 45 soon.
Yeah, all of mine are at 100. Just, hit R, head back to town, or hit, teleport back to town.
But those are from Those are PvP variants for you, Melkor. So when you're doing your PvP runs, we can start popping out some art.
Yeah, those look great. Where do I spend the glyphs?
You don't get them yet until you hit 60. Which you'll get them on this run. But you have to, once you unlock them, you gotta go collect them, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. Do you have enough legendaries to gear yourself up?
I think so.
Well, go ahead and upgrade. I think we can get up to a higher level, but we'll still do one.
It's not letting me port to you guys.
I don't know what's going on. I can't, the blacksmith's not working for me.
Lag.
I don't know what's going on. Reconnect.
All legendaries.
Cool. I seem to be might have to log.
Log out and you can reinvite. We can get Saw.
Yeah, it just disconnected me from Diablo. We're starting to have too much fun, gentlemen.
Oh, I mean, we're getting some good stuff. You start getting better models of gear as we get to the higher rifts. I think we do.
Ancestral is the best you can get, and then it'll be either 1, 2, or 3 stars. So you'll have 1, 2, or it's 800 instead of 750, and then it'll have either 1, 2, or 3 boosted traits on it.
Good.
Like if you look at my weapon, it's pretty much BIS for Spiritborn. I got fucking lucky.
Well, that's what we want to hear. How's my wardrobe? What's in here?
Alright, let's see here.
You're back in.
Can you go ahead and make me elite again, please?
Done. As I try to do it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is how I do it. The menu didn't come up. I had to click on it 3 times, and then it came up. It's just laggy.
Let's see here. No, we still can't get you up to...
What's the issue?
I was trying to see if we could do Torment and just can't seem to do it yet. C'est la vie. Oh, someone's not accepting.
Be laggy. Yeah, we're right here.
Got it.
That was wild. One glancing blow.
There's not a mob back there, is there?
No, I'm good. Valkor's got me. Thank you, Melkor. 1,000 bits. We should absolutely use all this AI art to every one of your posts, whenever you're releasing your videos. We should be using all this tech for that. And, frankly, we did this stuff to get Yang off the ground. There's no reason you shouldn't take full advantage of this stuff here and, be getting that level of support. And we'll try to, we have guys like Yeet Sir trying to get into YouTube. He's actually got a ton of views doing just some recordings. There's no reason we can't do that. I want everyone here to be using the meta as far as out of game as well, because there's no reason we shouldn't be informing people who might be interested in just doing cool shit with us. So we're stupid not to use Twitter. We're stupid not to use YouTube. We're stupid not to use the air to get the stuff out. Whatever the politics or this or that person who owns these platforms, Okay,
There was
grow
three
up.
people. There was 3 people that like joined the guild today and came to our PvP events because they saw our Reddit post.
Yeah, just keep doing it. Say, hey, we want to keep this stuff alive. You're a good representative for it. You know, you can be confident that you know your shit. You know, you're the elder statesman of the PvP for the new kids coming in. You know, you've achieved Gladiator. You have all the experience here. You have multiple experience, expansion under your belt. These people are looking for that. We're legit. You know, we've put in the time, and you know, we want to keep it going and do it well. So we're going to try to do what we can to keep that available for people. Ooh, that's creepy as fuck. Okay.
Oh, are you seeing that? The X post?
Yeah, I noticed. I'm just getting a bunch of renders for you.
Isn't that sick?
Yeah, it looks good, and we can put it in the GIF format, so it will animate immediately, and it will show that we have a quality. A lot of the amateurish shit that I see on YouTube and Twitter, we severely outclass that stuff now.
I want to send you a screenshot.
He's doing his thing, and Jack is blowing stuff up. I'll have to get a full rebuild on this guy at some point. It's been a while. Jinx had a build for me that we were working towards, but I've since... I don't even know what the meta is right now. By the
I
way,
hate this map. Everything's so spread out.
I just feel like Blizzard's run by a bunch of Muppets right now. We have a fucking launch for a classic variant tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna have to do some publishing for it, but like, what the fuck?
But season 6, SSOD.
No, an entirely new fucking classic.
Oh, it's the new classic, yeah.
How are we supposed to build any fucking hype for this shit, you know? It's like, dude, what? You want, huh? We have no capacity to do that. It's it's like, by the way, next week we're putting this out there. Okay. Well, I guess we're not going to be seriously doing too much more with it because it's like I guess FOMO, right? We'll claim our names or something, right? But like,
Yeah.
we've had a chance to do one guild meeting to bring it up, right? And everyone's like in the midst of already doing SOD, so people's reaction is like, "You mean an SOD, right? Right? No.
Hey, Morgoth, get in here, man.
Which one do I take?
Either.
The red one. Stay here. There we go. Congrats on 60.
Hell yeah.
Tier 101. He hit 60 plus 17 additional levels.
Look at you, 125. So Melkor, have you been checking out Max Roll?
What's that?
It's the place that gives you the build. It's the place I like to go to for build guides. I think they have the best.
For Diablo?
Yes. They have a bunch. They have them for Diablo, for Path of Exile. They got some stuff. They also do Throne and Liberty. Whole bunch of games.
I'll have to start looking at the builds. I've essentially built a Beast Mastery Hunter by just upgrading my pets.
Yeah, you're doing a minion.
Yeah.
They've got tier lists, and there are a bunch of different necro builds on it, but these two are probably the best.
How do I transfer this over? Can I import it?
Transfer what over?
The build.
I don't know. You just gotta look at it and do it. They don't have a thing like they do in WoW.
Damn, that's crazy.
I've done Bone Spirit. It's fun. I've heard good things about Spirit Wave though.
Spirit what?
Spirit Wave. Second build, they just DM'd you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, both of those builds have really been boosted up.
Blood is always fun too.
Yep, it is. Just really sucks at bossing. It's great for the pit though.
Spirit Wave?
No, the Bloodlance Necro, Bloodwave Necro, Blood Surge. There's like 3 different blood builds. They're all really good for the pit, which is just what we were doing. But for like bossing and other stuff, they're not very good. Whereas Bone Spirit and Spirit Wave. They're very good at bossing and very good at the pit. If you can do those two things, you can do anything in the game.
Which
Check out the playstyle. You know, one of them's probably a little bit more AoE, the other's probably a little bit more single target.
I
It's
like the
typically how it
Spirit
goes.
Wave looking one.
Yeah. Start figuring out what uniques you need, all that stuff. Oh, I can do one more pit if you guys want, then I gotta head to bed.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. I mean, we've made huge progress tonight. Did Epic Tatsu pop off? I guess he did. He's still here. He's not
See
listening
if
to
I
it.
can get our.
Well, this way you got max level and you got a ton of legendaries. It's a big win, Melkor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, excellent! Frick yeah!
Yeah, I'm full legendaries.
You guys want to do a? So we could do a pit, or we could do a hell tide.
The pit's probably the better way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do pit. Pit. Let's go kill Elon Musk. Where's he at?
Oh, I like
EV
Elon.
hero, man.
Is he on a different realm?
Probably.
He's almost certainly in his own little dungeon group.
He's like the rank 1 in Diablo now.
Have you got any glyphs yet, Melkor?
Yeah, I upgraded him at the last one.
Oh, good.
I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with those.
You slot them in the Paragon board. That's unlocked for you now. You probably got about 25, 30 Paragon points you need to slot.
Okay.
Yeah, the guide will have the order you're supposed to do them in. Also, which glyphs you need to get and the order of preference you want to upgrade them in as you get them. That's pretty much where all your endgame power comes from, is from the Paragon board. That and getting your uniques. And mythics if you can find them. Like I have one mythic and I need another one to really min-max this thing, and I just haven't been able to get it. Yeah, it's kind of funny. There's an achievement to reach 300 Paragon level. Basically, what it takes you to get from 100 to 282, it's the same amount of experience to get you from 282 to 300.
What level pit you doing?
101 right now. I'm maxed out at about 120. I think the highest I've gotten is 123, and I probably could push it more, but it's just too slow. Grindy pain in the butt.
I need that one, so join you on the next one.
Sure. Actually, I'll do one of them. You can probably join this one if you want. There's still time. I'm not at the end yet. You don't get any experience until the last boss anyways.
If I'm not unlocked there, can I still join the high one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, if you're what level are you?
202 Paragon.
Oh yeah, you'll be able to join us.
Yeah, I've got 40 up to 40, 42 unlocked.
Yeah, you'll be able to join us because it's set to my level. I'm lead.
Looks like you'll have to invite me.
You're not on my friends list. Shit.
So I need one more thing to unlock the last seasonal reward.
Let me know when you need to have us come to you.
Can you get him in Art?
Can you invite me, Art?
Am I in charge? Let me try to.
No, I think you can invite, but I can't join you.
Here's Dragon. Party's locked. Invites are not available. I'm like I'm in charge. Charge?
Might be because we're in the pit.
You're in
Yeah.
charge, Ninjaka.
Yeah, I might have to wait until you get out and do it. I'll do the next one.
Yeah, this is gonna be my last one, but I'll do one more.
When the crew. Appreciate it.
Come on in.
I need to burn this stuff down and come back.
Hey Dragon, what's your battle tag?
Dragon RPF number 1905, I think.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I've got you in the clan, but not as a friend.
Did you get that?
Yep.
Where'd Ark go? Oh, there he is.
I forge more than horseshoes and nails. What do you need?
It's funny, it says I can't. This player's not unlocked access to your current difficulty. What torment you're running at?
2-1.
Okay.
Change it to 2? Or
Yeah, I'll change it to 2.
So was that's here.
yeah, I've changed mine to 2.
That's why you couldn't get it, because I had it set to 4.
Ah. That might do it. Yeah, well, unlocked up to 2.
Well, we'll get you squared away pretty quick.
Ark, are you seeing these advertisements?
Let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm teleporting to you. I'm with you right now.
So how are you doing this? You killing everything and then we're going in?
Well, I kill some stuff. You guys just come in, and if you don't move, they don't attack you.
Okay.
And I'll just start killing things. And then you just wait for the red portal to open. Then again, don't move, and I'll kill the boss. Every time you guys die, it adds like 30 seconds or a minute. Takes a 30 seconds or a minute off the clock.
Yeah, just stay in the back. Morgoth got hit. And now I got it. There's an ad back by it. It's killing us. So
Yeah, you got one back there?
yeah, there's not a whole lot we can do about it.
He just came back.
Looking good.
Yeah.
Because completing this should unlock tier 3, right?
Probably. Well, I think it has to do with legendaries. If you get a legendary in every slot, that unlocks
Okay.
4. You know, 750.
Yep. Yeah, because right now I'm running at 800 in each slot.
Oh, you're running at 800 in each spot?
Yep.
I don't know why it shouldn't be unlocked for you then.
Because I haven't got the high enough pit.
You haven't done a pit? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. You gotta get to 60, don't you?
Yeah, highest I've gotten to is 42 by myself.
Maybe it's 750 to get to Torment 1.
Yeah, I think I forget what it was.
Might have been last season is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I just know I needed a 50 to get to the next tier, next tournament. And then I think 45, and I get the next last reward.
room level.
That makes you have a potion active.
Here we go.
Red portal. Stay
Chill
back
here.
there.
I'm chilling out back here.
Yep, not moving.
Getting the Ninjaka carry.
Alright, come on up.
I dig it.
Got Melkor up to 44.
Yeah, that's insane. Thank you.
That's wild.
Yep, I think I just got my rewards, so thank you.
No problem. So Melkor, like I said, pick the, you can do any necro build you want, but I'd pick one of those two and then just start to follow it. It'll tell you what you need to you need to get your Paragon point slot. You got to figure out which glyphs you need to start farming for.
Okay.
Figure out what your abilities are, because you're gonna have to completely redo your ability tree. Rotation, armor pieces. If you look at it, it'll tell you the the basic set you kind of want to start off with, and then as you get pieces, you can then move up to like mid game, end game, etc. Like I'm in way end game. Just I only need one more piece. I need a mythic, and as soon as I get that mythic and a pair and an FU pair of gloves, I will be min maxed on this thing. I just, for whatever reason, I can't get the gloves I need. And that fucking mythic I'm missing. But I got the important one. I needed the helmet. That's what next leveled me. Took me from about a 110 to about a 123, 125 pit.
Wild.
And if I can get the last mythic piece, then I can move into an end game build. Probably get me up to like 130, 140. But nobody really does 140s because it's just, you don't die. It just takes for, you're just trying to beat the clock, which is really hard. Just takes fucking forever to kill something.
Right, so the rewards versus effort aren't worth the time.
No.
Yeah, I mean, effort versus time, the ERTs, epic reward time metrics are not great. Like Blizzard in general is kind of struggling on that recently.
Yep.
And that goes back to my hey, so this is knowable. Like this is a metric you can kind of design for. Well, like listening to all these guys doing their Star Citizen stuff, like they showed us the spreadsheets of how that's done. Well, this is how long it will take you. This is reward for time. This is the difficulty associated with it. We want things to be, within these ranges, and that's knowable. You can look at money. You can look at other metrics for rewards, item level, all the rest of it. My point is, it's completely knowable, right? And it's shocking to me that they're struggling as much as they are.
Yeah, like I'm looking at the Spirit Wave and it says you need the Blood Artisan's Cuirass. And you'll probably get that if you complete the campaign. Or and maybe the season if you can get the season box, but I got got my first set of uniques, which really locked the player and moved it forward when I completed the campaign. Oh, and if you want to get the season box, which does a lot of good, of the last item on the season track, you gotta basically go kill those giants that pop up every hour. Or you've got the opal potions, which you get from the giant that pops up every hour. You collect, if you, that's the only way to get rep for the, to complete the season gear track. You pop one of those, it gives you an increase in 15 experience, which will help with Paragon points, but then it will also start giving you experience for the Zachrum Remnants, which is the season shit. But like I said, that fucking giant comes up about every...
Realm Walker?
Yeah, Realm Walker, that dude. I got sick of killing him, so I just, for the last 4 or 5 boxes, I just fucking did a limit opal potions. Just I'd go into something, like go into a pit, pop an opal potion. That would just rack up the Zachrum rep.
Yeah, I've completed all those.
Yeah, ditto.
I'm redoing my build to the Spirit Wave.
There you go.
Try it out.
So you should be more than powered enough to blow through
Any of your stories
campaign.
Right.
Yeah.
With all the epics you just received.
See.
Don't be afraid to dial it down to like Penitent or something. You don't gotta. You don't have to do it at.
Yeah, just do it at normal.
4.
You're going to completely womp on things with that build and the gear you just got. I didn't have close to having full legendaries when I completed it. Plus, we're here to help, so no big deal.
Alright, Jets, it's 2 a.m. my time. Kept me up late, Ark.
Get out of here. Just appreciate it. Huge help.
No worries.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Melkor wanted to cap out. Got to do it. Is Epic on? He's doing.
Later.
Out.
Later, man.
I think I'm done with that. If you want to remake your character for Star Citizen, you can too. I'll see if Epic Tatsu's there. We'll do some more. Pop it in. Jeez, man. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell they're doing with this other stuff for the anniversary run. I'm posting. It's crazy how much better our stuff is. Like our Discord is so much more professional than anything we could have imagined when we first started playing WoW. There's so much more news. It's much better media. It's much better animated. The quality of the images are much better. There's much more content coming out. But this is where we're at. They're dumping so much stuff on us so quickly. It's just like, how do we keep up with all of it? Because a lot of it's not like great. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of very just throw out as much as we can, as quickly as we can, and it's sort of cynical. Like their official page, man, it's like very limited. I feel like these guys know they're making a solid game at this point. It's cool to see. My house here is pretty cool. I'll be right back.
pack protect you. It's simple. Dry armor, blood longer. Come back when your second skin needs a bandage.
Blinds.com is kicking off the savings early with Black Friday mega deals all month long. A Blinds.com design expert can help you handle everything from measure to your whole home install for just one low cost. With over 25 million windows covered, Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Get up to 45% off site-wide and a free professional measure right now at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
All right, I am back. Is Epic Tatsu back in, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I'm here.
What are you running right now?
Nothing really.
We want to just keep working on the Vaughn stuff, because I can come out, we can get your rep out, and I can help as a second ship.
Yeah.
To bring up the upgraded Cutlass, or just bring out the Corsair? Corsair's probably better.
Yeah.
I just don't have the build for it, so like it's still, I think it's set up for more of like a longer
Yeah, it's definitely
range
set up
stock.
for a longer range right now. I think it'd be nice with like laser gatlings. I like those.
Big heavy guns in the front, like kind of. I feel like even though it doesn't work this way for practical reasons, due to all the latency and the rubber banding, where the shotgun style makes sense, I guess. It's like, we'll just cover every possible position it could, be potentially existing in as Schrodinger's ship, right? And that way it will be hit by something, because shotgun. But the way it seems to be designed is it's supposed to, like, fly in really quick, have a big standoff damage with, like, the missiles on its wing, and then act like a gunship. So, like, heavy, mid to long range weapons that pack a huge amount of punch in, like, a single volley. So it seems like come in at the appropriate kill range, and that's how most gunships work. They don't want to be fast; they want their guns to have range and be fast. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think the shotgun's the right build for it.
I've always felt like
you know.
mid-range, like big punch or those type of weapons is the way it should work.
Some mix of like ballistics and lasers, because you don't want to just be out there with just ballistics and be out of ammo, you know.
No, you want big, long-range, like laser guns. I think is how it should potentially be built. Do you need me to invite you, or do you want to invite me?
Did you join my server when you came in? Are you in the menu?
It doesn't matter because I can log out because I'm right here at the start area. Look how good this game looks right now. They improved the graphics for this build or something, or what? The atmospherics seem a little improved here. For
I
this
do
city.
think so.
I mean,
I
I'm
thought it
almost
looked better, too,
positive they did for
and-
this city.
Like more of the graphics are running the way they should be, and as a result, my frame rate's slightly lower all the time. But it's like worth it, I guess.
Durango's on. I wonder if they want to run because they've got that real money situation.
Where'd you
talk.
put the city for your new?
Oh, I'm here over at Orison on Crusader.
All right, I'll fly to Crusade.
Should I log out and join on you, or how should I do this?
Yeah, because I can't just log here. I don't want to lose my cargo crates.
Yep, so I'll do it.
Don't think the priest will be handing out bread anymore. Better think for yourself. I'll show you how to steal some.
$99 of 100 there.